Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Secret Origins of Mint Condition. I am your host today, Keith, and joining me is my co-host, Joe. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Keith, how you doing? Yeah, it was a pretty rough night after that Yankee debacle, but we'll soldier on. And I'm really excited to see what we're going to do today because this is the Flash, our favorite Flash covers, right?
Yeah, today's episode is we're doing our top 10 favorite Flash covers of all time and
Yeah.
Flash related covers. So it could be
Yes.
something, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Flash comic, could be a Brave and the Bold comic, could be, a showcase comic or anything that is like Flash centric. So it's our top 10. We're going to be going in order of 10 countdown to one with we both also have a couple honorable mentions. Um,
Hmm.
but I am gonna pass it along to Joe first to start with his number 10. What is your 10 out of the top 10 Flash covers of all time?
Well, as you know, one of my favorite artists is Dan Jurgens, and Dan Jurgens didn't do too much Flash in Volume Two, but he did do a great cover, and I love this cover. This is Flash number 53, Volume Two.
Oh yes, the,
Uh,
the
Dan Jurgens and
Superman
Jose
Flash.
Marzan Jr. Yeah, I love this. Look, this what oh man, what a great artist. So this
That's
is
a
this is
great
my
book.
number 10. And it's a great story too, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
my
That's
as I was
Dan.
going
Is that the only cover Dan Jurgens did?
a Flash, possibly, yeah. You know, I was going through Flash Volume Two and saying, there's gotta be a Dan Jurgens cover in here. And I wasn't that the Superman one? And I said, oh, and I found it. And I said, oh yep, I had to pull this one out. So that's my number 10.
That's
So
that's a
okay.
great one. That's a really really great one. Um, so my number 10 is a great cover. It's I know we kind of talked about like our favorite covers aren't necessarily our favorite stories. Sometimes they can kind of coincide. But I love this comic. It's one of the first ones I like bought myself that my dad didn't buy for me when I was younger. But this is Flash number 2 by
Ooh.
uh, Butch Guice, Jackson Guice, who
Right.
recently passed away. It's
Recently passed, yeah.
while he's trying to save Francine, who'll later become Magenta from Vandal
Hmm.
Savage. He's
That's right.
running out. Vandal's throwing her out a window, and while he's running in, looking all like super concerned. I
That's a
just
great cover.
really loved Mike Barron's covers. Like, that run might not have been the best, but it was just I think there's some beautiful work he did.
No, the composition of that cover is gorgeous. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
And
yeah, right.
I like what you said. That, you know, it doesn't have to be our favorite story to be a favorite cover, and it could be a key issue. It could be something that's never been done before in a cover. Sometimes playing around with the logo, although I don't think I have one of those this time. So, but yeah, that's so and or it could be a remembrance when we first bought it, and you. By that, you know what my number one's going to be. You know what my number one's going
Yeah,
to be,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
I think everybody who's listening to this program, heard me talk about the Flash, knows what my number one's going to be. But here's my number 9, and this is a key issue. I've had this in my collection a long time, and it's a I think it's like a very fine. But I love this. Is Flash Volume One, number 137.
Oh,
This is the first of Silver Age Vandal Savage and the first cameo of the JSA in here
yeah.
when
That
they
is
brought them
a
back. Yeah,
beautiful cover. I
real
love
beautiful.
that one. I mean, it's
It's
a great story too. It's
Infantino,
everything. It's a great story. It's just a beautiful, It's one of the most famous comic covers of all time, right? I mean,
right? Infantino, inked by Murphy Anderson. They were a great team
and
on
very
this,
fine.
and they
That's a beautiful
also
book.
yeah, isn't it a gorgeous book? I love
Oh,
this
I love
book.
it.
So yeah, that's I had no idea, and now I didn't buy these books when they came out. I wasn't reading comic books yet because this is 1963, maybe 64. I probably bought this book. I left the original price on. It's from Forbidden Planet Comics at a convention, $5,
Oh my God.
maybe in like 1970, 73, 74.
Yeah.
I know it's worth more than $5
A
today. So
lot more
yeah,
than $5. Yeah. Very fine, especially.
right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's my number 9.
That's a key book. All right. So it's tough to kind of, because I love them all. It's tough to kind of, pick the order. But this is not a Flash cover, and I'm not sure. I'm sure you remember this book, but this is The Brave and the Bold by Mark Waid and George Perez, number 8.
Ooh.
Um, it's
Oh,
basically
I love that series.
So good. It's the beauty
Oh,
of this series was it was one the first 12 issues was one large story with interconnecting stories, but
yeah.
you could read them all
Hmm.
individually, and you could read this Flash team up with the Doom Patrol. So it's basically Wally and his kids who you can't see on the they're not on the cover, teaming up. They're going to the Doom Patrol to get help from Niles Calder to help them with their powers. And the funny thing is, you read it and you have them saying, "Flash, you have to help save us from them." And them really is Flash's kids because they're just like super like crazy and rambunctious. It's a beautiful George Perez cover. Him doing the Doom Patrol and Wally is just great. It's one of my favorite covers. I can't wait to try to get this signed by Wade. I have doubles of it. I want to bring next time I meet him.
Isn't that book inked by Jerry Ordway?
Yes, it is. Yep,
Yeah, so that makes it even doubly good because you put Perez and Ordway together. It's like, you know,
it's
most of
amazing.
Crisis on Infinite Earths was Perez and
Oh,
Ordway. Yeah,
yeah. No,
great
it's
cover.
amazing. I love that cover.
Okay, now my number 8, no Flash Volume 2 run can be you can't talk about it unless you have a Scott Collins cover, right?
Of course.
Another one
Yeah.
of our favorite artists, and this is my favorite Flash Scott Collins cover. Flash number 192. I love this cover.
Oh,
It's just so cool. I love the black and the red pops out, and yet the red is subdued at the same time.
that's a
It's just
unique
amazing.
cover.
I love this cover.
It's so
Isn't it though?
unique,
The
right?
layout is great. The composition. Yeah,
It's not
this is
like
one of
any
my
of the Flash
favorite
cover,
covers
and
of
it's
all time.
funny you bring that up. I'm pretty sure I showed you like a year or two ago. I think it was last year. I bought a print of Scott from Scott Collins of that exact cover.
Yeah, yeah. See, all right. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's. I remembered that, but as I was going through the boxes looking for a Scott Collins cover, and there was so many good ones,
Oh,
especially the ones leading up to issue 200. I said, no, this is my favorite because it's just the layout and the color composite, the composition and the colors, and
it
whatever
really
that
is.
outline is
It's
of that
almost
monster.
like a modern take on a Silver Age cover, a little bit, like but the composition of it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, it's so
That's my
beautiful. I love
number
that cover. Scott Collins
number
is
8.
amazing.
Oh,
He's
he
one of the
sure is.
greatest Flash artists of all time. Um,
Scott Collins and probably Doug Hazelwood, right? Did that
yeah.
probably?
Oh
Yeah,
God.
Doug
Yeah.
Hazelwood.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
what a team.
This one, I believe this is Carmine Infantino art. I believe so. This is honestly, this is probably just like you know, it's just tied to my next one for number 8 and 7. But I love this cover. Flash 151 with the shade. It's Jay Garrick and Barry Allen and Barry's running fast and punching the shade. 151. That's Carmine Infantino, right?
Oh, that's Carmen Infantino, inked by Murphy Anderson. Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
It
I
is
was going to pick that cover, Keith, but I instead
really.
I picked the 137. Yeah, I picked the 137 with the two flashes battling each other. It was a toss up between that and that one. I'm glad you picked that one. That's one of my favorite covers of all time. I love it.
Such I
Yeah,
love this cover. Like it's just one of my. In fact, I want to upgrade my copy of this book. I'm looking to get a better copy of it. I've been looking like on eBay. Like I bought mine a long time ago, so I want to get a better one. But
such a
baseball
simple composition, but it works so well, right? It's just
yeah,
a
like when he was inked by Murphy Anderson, especially, it was like a perfect kind of pairing.
yeah.
Just tightened
And
it or something,
Fantino,
right? Like
he tightened it. He made it brighter. It's like when he inked him on Adam Strange. It was the same thing. It was gorgeous. The Adam Strange stuff that
yeah,
he inked.
yes, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
Anderson was a great artist in his own right, but an even greater inker. I mean, years later, for 3 years, starting in 1971, I believe, he starts inking Kurt Swan on Superman and Action Comics, and that's my favorite. I get goosebumps thinking about it. That's my favorite artistic period of Superman. Those 3 years, Swan and Anderson. Here's my number 6. Is my number 6? Yeah, 130. No, number 7, 133. Now, if you're a Flash fan, especially Silver Age, you know that there's been some wacky covers, right? There's giant big head Flash. There's the day Flash weighed 1,000 pounds. There's Flash getting. There's one coming up. One of my honorable mentions. Maybe just a costume. But this was, I think, the first like incredibly crazy, outrageous Flash cover from the Silver Age.
Ha!
The puppet cover. It's just so
Want to hear
stupid. It's
something
great.
funny? That was my next one too.
Oh wow, it's great. See that? Great minds think alike, right? So
That is, I knew it. I knew it when you were when you was. I just knew it when you were describing it.
I could have gone with the day the Flash was 1,000 pounds, or the
Yeah,
one
that's a
with the
great one.
giant head that was, yeah. But this is the because I got the strangest feeling on being turned into a puppet. I
Yep, yep,
love it.
yep.
It's great, and it's again and Infantino and Anderson. So go ahead. What do you like about it
No,
besides
that
being
oh,
nuts?
I love it. It's just it's just fun. You know what I mean? It's just like a fun
Yeah,
book. It's when I was a little kid and first saw it, I'm like this is like one of the many things I loved about the Flash. And at that point when I was young, it was great because I had such a wide variety of Flash. I had like the more modern, the newer stuff I was reading, post crisis. Like which was very serious and this and that, but then I had the later Barry stuff that was very serious and kind of like a little darker, and then
hmm
yeah, this really fun, crazy Silver and Bronze Age stuff that I adored it. Like I love that cover. It's just beautiful in every
yeah. I
way, and
didn't.
the colors, everything.
Oh
It's
yeah, the green, right? Yeah,
such a piece of
the
art,
green, the
work of art.
yellow. I didn't come upon this book until probably I was in my teen years, again at a convention. But I can imagine if you're an 8-year-old in 19, probably 62, because it's the Big 12 cents, so it's probably
Yeah,
1962. Imagine being an 8-year-old. How could you pass this up? If
no.
you're an 8-year-old reading comics, it's just
And that's what's crazy. We see some
insanity.
covers now, like you know. I was listening to Thinking Critical, and Wes was talking about like that Justice League Omega Act comic, which was really good and had amazing interior art. I don't think they
But
liked
the
the issue, but
cover,
I loved it and had amazing interior art. But it had like the worst cover in the world, and I'm like, why would it's a totally different artist? I'm like, why would you do that? Like that. If I
yeah.
didn't know what the story was about, I wouldn't have picked it up. The art was terrible on the cover. I just
You
don't
should
get
have
how
gotten
they
Dan Jurgens or Jerry Ordway to do the cover, right? Or
say so
Scott
many great
Collins.
artists. And they've always
Yeah.
like variants that have like great art. Like get one even one of them who aren't always the best, but like this was just a terrible one. So like these covers like jumped at you, and you're like, I have to have that book, and they
I
still
have to have
jump at
that
you
book.
that way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So we both poached each other there on number
That's
six.
funny.
That's good. That is that was number 7, right? Here's number 6. Flash Volume 1, number 135. This is a key because this is the first time Wally appears in his yellow and red costume.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
a
this
great
book.
book.
Yeah. Again, Infantino and Anderson. This is like a VG fine copy. It's a pretty good. I mean, again, I bought all these books at conventions in the 70s and probably paid about a
Yeah,
buck.
no,
Probably paid about a
that's
buck for this comic book.
a
Maybe
great
2.
cover.
Isn't it
Again,
though?
another iconic one. Just a beautiful,
hmm
beautiful cover. Like we said before the call, we could probably do 30
Oh yeah.
favorite Flash covers.
Yeah, and because you got yellow and red, so you got to make the background green, and so it makes everything pop.
It
You
just
know,
makes
the
it
the,
really
the
pop. It
con-
does.
yeah,
Again, another cover that if you were in a store as a kid and you saw that, you'd be like, I have to have that.
I have to have it exactly. I have to have it. So that's
I also love when they have like word balloons on covers. I just do. I don't know. I love
oh
telling
yeah,
a little bit of the story.
yeah, and it's a fairly long word balloon, but then the Flash is they move at super speed, so I mean he could have said that in a nanosecond, and Wally would have
Totally.
understood it. So, so yeah, so
My
that's
number
number
six.
6.
Number six, right? My
Mm-hmm.
number six. I think it is a beautiful cover. But another reason why I love it, not just like the look, is because like this came out after Wally was taken off the board in Infinite Crisis, and Bart was the Flash for about a year or so, and little did I know that this was going to be a short-lived run, but this was a like kind of an exciting time for me to get like Wally back and got Wally back with his family, and on top of
Mm-hmm.
that too, like you said before, like where you are in life. This is like when I met my son and my like ex-wife. Like it was just a
Ah,
wonderful time in my life. But this one right here, the hold on,
oh,
one second, my little.
okay.
There we go. The Flash 231 cover A by Daniel Acuna. It's got Wally,
Great cover.
Linda, and the kids for the first time in their first like real appearance as not babies really.
Yeah.
They popped up in the All Flash story before that, but they didn't speak. They were just like when you saw Wally come back from from where they were hiding during Infinite Crisis. It's a beautiful cover. I love this cover, and it was the beginning of a short Wade run that I really liked. A lot of people didn't, but I really liked it. And it was just like this was a really good time, for me with the Flash and his in life in general. So I just have really warm feelings about this cover.
Great. No, it's is that the second appearance of them as grown children?
Yeah, they popped up in All Flash, but
Not
they didn't even
babies.
speak.
Yeah.
You didn't even see their faces. You might have seen their
Right.
faces a little bit. Wally is
They
like
remember
hugging
that.
them when he came back.
Mhm.
Then they jumped right to like Bart. They also popped up in the Justice League book, like that. All like Justice. It was interesting. The Flash, the Fastest Man Alive, the issue where Bart dies, his final issue of his run, JLA number 10, by Brad Meltzer, and All Flash, all like they came out on the same they came out in the same week or two. Literally, All Flash and the JLA book came out in the same day, I think, and they all took place at the same moment. So you only saw the kids for a second in JLA, and then in All Flash, and then this is like when they actually interact and speak and everything. It's a really fun issue. That run kind of got sabotaged, but it was a really good issue. So, Joe, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is, I think, in my humble opinion, and I think you might agree with this, the best single issue of Flash comic book ever. That includes silver, bronze, whatever, modern, and that is Flash Volume 2, issue 79.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I forgot this was Ty Templeton. I had to look it up. This is Ty Templeton.
Cover, right.
And what I like about this cover, it looks like it could be a panel in the comic book, right?
Yeah.
The villain's back is to you, and that's different. But again, the composition is great. We see the fallen heroes at his feet, Jay and Johnny. But it's just, it's a cover that's attached to a book that I think is one of the greatest, if not the single greatest issue of the Flash.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the Return of Barry Allen story is just to my mind the best Flash story, and this has everything in there, and it's extra size. It's a wonderful.
Yeah, can you see this? Can you see the thickness on the side? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's in a lot of ways. It's so many things. It's a wonderful story, a fantastic cover, but also for me, I'm not sure for you, but like it just like. For me, reading that's the story that kind of got me back in the comics when I was a kid. I was young, a teenager. I got out for a couple of years, and I was walking home from school, and I picked up the first couple issues of the Return of Barry Allen. Didn't know that it wasn't called that. You know what I mean? There was no name Return of Barry. It was just there was just a story. Later, they called out when they did a collected edition. Wade didn't want people to know what the story was, obviously, and he didn't want them. They didn't number parts. He didn't want anyone to know when it was going to end. It could just be the ongoing status quo. It could have been whatever. And so I have like a fond memory of that because it's what got me back in the I was like, I don't think I've ever been so glued to a story in my life. I was like chomping at the bits. And back then you couldn't get, there was like one comic book store in town. I didn't have a car. I had to like try to track down the other parts. It took me like months to get the finale. Oh, it was like torture. That's a great choice.
I bought this from Mrs. Gross on Mid Condition Comics because it's listed as August 93, so it probably came out around May or June of that year, right?
Yeah.
I remember going in there and she gave me my comics and look at the size of this comic. This is great. It's like so excited when I got this.
Oh, yeah, that's a like read right when you get home kind of book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It run home as fast as a flash.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5, right? So what's your number 5?
My number 5, and this one, honestly, this is just one of the best. This is such an amazing cover, honestly. Like it could be higher, but there's so many great covers that like it's weird that I have this as my number 5 in my head, but there's so many other amazing covers. I think you'll agree it's one of the best Flash covers. Brian Bolland, Flash 182, Captain Cold. He loves only cold. Beautiful cover. This is like
I'm thinking of the song from Goldfinger, right? Yeah.
Amazing book and beautiful cover.
I'm sorry, I spoke over you when you gave the artist who
the
credits again. What was that again?
Brian Bolland.
Okay, Brian Bolland, yeah.
Did Animal
and the
Man.
Flash cover without the Flash on it, right?
Well, he's actually in the background. He's one of the victims, frozen.
Yeah.
Right. He's not the lead. Because Brian Bolland did a bunch of covers. He did from 164 I believe, to 187. And they were
Yeah,
all
2 years worth of
fantastic. All
covers.
had a very Silver Age feel to them, like so many of them did.
Hmm.
Um, like a lot of them really reminded me of the Infantino Ink by Murphy covers, like a lot of the Weather Wizard
Hmm.
ones, especially. Um, but this is just a beautiful cover. I love it. I think it's one of the best ones. I also have a print of this one.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's great. That is
Well, not a print.
fantastic.
It actually they sell like a Brian Bolden poster book, but it's like the size of a print.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's a great book. I mean, and that was the time when he was redefining the villains, Jeff Johns, and making them more than just bank robbers and jewelry store and jewelry knockover jewelry store. They were really now these guys were playing for keeps, and
Yeah,
that was good. Yeah,
and that was the main. You could say some of the best Flash runs ever. Wade focused on Wally, but Jeff John's first run, because he even says he's like, I love Wally, he's his favorite character, but he's like he just like what could he have added that Wade didn't already do? So he focused on the Rogues and Keystone and Central City.
yeah. And that you know what that cover is great because it's kind of like a segue into my next cover, which is a key. It's Flash Volume One, number 155, and I'm pretty sure this is the very first Rogues Gallery cover,
Ooh, that's a beautiful
right?
cover.
Yeah. And again, this is like this is very fine to near mint. This book,
Yeah,
I love this
you
book,
can
and
tell that's a beautiful
there's
copy.
Captain Cold, right? Yeah. Beautiful copy and beautiful layout. And there was a couple more after this in the Infantino run, but this is the first one with the Rogues Gallery. As we're
Wow.
getting ready to run the gauntlet. I love this cover.
I love those
Again,
like multiple rogues going after the Flash covers. I love those.
oh, yeah, they're great. There's been many of them, but I'm pretty sure this is the first one.
Oh
And
yeah,
6 rogues. So again, if you're a little kid, oh my God, how's the Flash going to take on all 6 of these guys at the same time? Wow, this is going to be tough even for him. And
yep,
it
yep.
was. So that's a great cover, and that's my number. That's my number 4. And so we're getting close to the top one, but we'll get there soon. So
My
that's your
number
number 4.
4 is a very recent one. This is from Jeremy Adams' run. The story in
Oh,
here is good and fun. It's nothing amazing, but it's good and fun. But I love this cover. It's even my Instagram picture. Um, Love on the Run. This is Wally and Linda. I
mm-hmm.
thought that
I
one was
love
good.
it.
I love it. I wish I could find a print of this. I actually even emailed the artist once, but she said she didn't have any. But like, I forget her name even, but like, it's a beautiful cover. It's a fun cover. It's just like I don't
Yep.
know. I think they're one of the best couples in comics. I love that. I love it. So I had to pick that one.
Yeah, I think when we recently did a Valentine's Day episode, was it? Well, not recent. That would have been earlier in the year. I think I picked them as my number 1 couple over Lois and Clark because they seem to have a more healthy relationship, Wally and Linda, than Lois and Clark do.
Well,
So,
a lot of that has to do too with like Superman's just been written so much. Like
yeah,
they
yeah,
unfortunately when you have like so when you probably the most written comic book character, there's going to be some people that write bad stories here and there.
yep, definitely, definitely. Okay, so now when we started, you had mentioned that a Flash cover doesn't necessarily mean it has to be on a Flash book, right? So this
Right.
is pretty high. This is my number 3 favorite Flash cover appearance of all time. And I was about, I guess I just turned 12. I was 11 or 12 when I picked up this book. And it was like, holy mother of God, I have to have this book. Uh, and it's Superman number 139, the very
Oh
first Flash
yeah,
issue. Yeah. And
yeah.
this is not my childhood copy, unfortunately. That one, this is like a fine plus. I wish I still had my childhood copy, but this was a replacement copy. And
That's
again,
really nice.
this is Murphy. This is Carmine Infantino, Murphy Anderson. Infantino only drew a handful of Superman covers in his career, but this is one of them. Might have been the first one he drew. And the big thing about this cover is Batman is rooting for the Flash. They said
Yeah,
that the word balloon was supposed to be pointing to what's his name, Green Lantern, but I guess they couldn't get the word balloon to point that far down without scaring Batman. So
that's so funny.
you gotta love it. On the other side we have Hawkman rooting on Superman. It should have been the other way around.
Right,
But
right, right, right.
but Barry should have been rooting on Superman and Batman. They could have put him on the other side. He would have been rooting on Barry should have been rooting on. Let's try that again. Hal should have been rooting on Barry, and Bruce should have been rooting for
Totally.
Superman. Yeah. but still,
So,
it's a great cover.
oh, the
And
beautiful
again, if you're a
cover.
kid, you're 11, 12-year-old kid, you got to have it. You just have to have this book. So yeah,
Honestly,
that's
yeah.
my
I
number
mean, the fact
two.
that they don't do more Superman Flash races, is always amazing to me. So this is mine, number three. We're on number three, right? This
Yep.
is, I think, of such an amazing long story. And I love this cover. But the story, so this all started in Flash 142, the wedding of Wally and Linda, which doesn't happen yet, but like there's a whole thing, and it goes into Chain Lightning, and it goes into a Dark
Oh,
Flash story. It's like 17
right.
issues or something like that of like
Mhm.
of, of this amazing whirlwind story. Love it. It's so good. I recommend it. It does not talk about that often. I mean, all of it, but the Dark Flash story with Walter West is great. It's great. And this cover reminds me of like the Silver Age composition, at least. Um, Here we go. Flash 158.
Oh, I love.
Abracadabra
Yeah,
watch two
that's a.
flashes disappear. You got
And who's the
Replicant
artist
holding
again?
up Wally and Walter, and you got the
Hmm.
Abracadabra like scarred face in the middle.
Yeah, you broke up a bit there before that when you were mentioning the artist. So who's the artist again?
Oh no, I don't think I even said it. Actually, I oh my God, he passed away recently.
Oh, that's hmm, let me see.
He passed away a few years ago. Paul Petlier did the interiors of the story, but oh man,
Mhm.
I forget his
I
name
would.
and again. I
Well, you
don't.
know what? Our Mint faithful out there will. Steve Perel will probably let us know. So go to it,
Yeah,
Steve.
I feel terrible. I don't recall his name, but
That's
again, I couldn't pull my actual issues for most of these because they're in my storage unit. So I had to pull up copies online. I had to take screenshots of it. Um, and they don't even in the interiors. I couldn't find the cover artist, but it's a beautiful cover. It's very Silver Agey with just that like dynamic art, and I just love the whole holding two flashes up there, and I think
yeah.
Walter West is one of the best costume designs like ever for a Flash. It's a great book.
No, it's great. It's a great composition, a great book. I like the way they're playing with the. That was they had that logo for a while, right? That
Yeah,
Flash
for the
logo.
whole
Yeah,
a whole Dark Flash story. He's
right.
supposed to
Yeah,
be Hyper
that's
Time.
right.
He came from we didn't know it, but he came from Hyper Time.
Hypertime. Hypertime is still around. They just mentioned in a book I was
Hmm.
reading recently. Okay, so now my number two is, and I wish I had a better copy. I don't know why I didn't replace this. I probably spent 50 cents for this at the convention, at a convention in the '70s, and I should have replaced this, but I didn't. So that's my one regret. But I love having this book, and this is the book that started the multiverse. Flash number 123,
Oh
Flash of
yeah,
Two Worlds.
yeah.
This is I'd say this is a good, maybe a good plus, but it's got a lot of stains, and but this, and there's a piece missing in the corner. But again, I mean, this is the
It's just
book that
a history. It's part of history.
it's part of not only Flash history, it's just part of DC comic book history.
Yeah,
You
yeah. You
know,
see that cover everywhere. It's been
yeah, yeah,
homaged a billion
yeah.
times. Not just by Flash books, but like other books. It's just like that's just a beautiful book. I used to have a statue of that.
I do have the statue, but Jay fell off and it broke his arm, and I got to get somebody to repair it for me. So,
Yeah,
but I do have the statue. Yes. Again, of course, it's Infantino ink by Murphy Anderson.
beautiful,
And
beautiful
the
book.
first appearance of Jay Garrick in the Silver Age, and the first appearance of Earth Two, and who knew that in years, decades later, this would explode into a multiverse,
Yep.
right? So,
It's
what a
a
great
great.
book.
That's a great cover. My number two is a Scott Collins cover from
Ooh,
obviously from his from Flash Volume Two with Jeff Johns. I love this cover. I got a print of it as well from Scott Collins last year, signed at Baltimore. The first appearance of Zoom, Flash
oh,
197.
I was thinking about that one, Keith. Well, 97, 98, 99, 200, they're all great. Every one of them is great.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I remember when they first announced the Blitz storyline. Scott Collins, I think it was CBR or one of those news sites. He gave them like a black and white, or no, it was a color one, a color because that's one big cover. You know what I mean? It's like a
Mhm.
wraparound cover, and
Mm.
I wish they sold like a small poster print of
Yeah.
like the entire cover because it's like one big story. It's so beautiful, but that one I remember when that came out. That was such an exciting time for me for Flash.
Oh, what a
I
great.
was like, I was psychotic. I was like buying multiple copies for my friends to read. They got to read this story. It was just so good. It was so a wonderful story.
I know I bought two copies of 200 issue 200. That was but
Oh, that was great.
great. Scott Collins. We've talked about him in the past. How his flash when his flash runs, you can hear the crackle of the lightning, and you can hear the whoosh, and it's so kinetic, and it's just and everything. Every time he's running through Central City or even Keystone, actually, it, there are things that you read. Oh, that was in the last issue in that street. And it's like he built this world that it was lived in, and that's why he's what a great flash artist.
Such a great
Next
art.
to I think we said this before. After Infantino, it's Scott Collins, right? For a flash artist, probably. I think so. Right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would say so. I mean, I have other favorites too that are close, but none of
I do
them
too. But
kind of captured like that kinetic energy like him. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I love Greg
him,
LaRocque. He's great, but not.
Roke.
It's just different. You know, I love Mike Wieringo. He contributed so much,
Oh, thank you. I forgot Ringo. Yeah.
but like it's just Collins was just something. Like you said, you really felt like the speed. It was just different. It was like nothing was like that to me. Like especially inked by Doug A. Hazelwood. It really, no one captured speed like him.
No, I love Ross Andrew. I didn't like him at first because he replaced Carmen Fantino, and all of a sudden looked like the Flash put on 40 pounds. But
Yeah,
I, as I grew to like Andrew and Esposito, I went back and years later and reread those books. And this is really good. This is really. But
sometimes
yeah,
it grows
Scott
on you, right?
Collins. Yeah, it does. Okay, Keith, here we go.
Number
Number
one.
one, right?
Yep. I
Well,
think we
I know
both
Keith
probably know each
knows.
other's number ones, but
Yeah, and again, this goes back to what Keith spoke about when we first started this episode. That it doesn't have to be a great composition or just a wow cover to pull you in. It may be something that at the time pulled you in for the emotion it stirred in you. And so 10-year-old Joe is in the Nat's Candy Store under the L on Fulton Street in East New York, Brooklyn. And he sees this on the wall rack. And I don't know who this guy is in red. And he says, "Stop. Don't pass up this issue. My life depends on it." Flash Volume 1, number 163. In my heart, the greatest Flash cover of all time. And
that's
I bought it and I ran home and I read it and read it and read it. This, again, is not my childhood copy. I did sell that. I got this as a fine plus, but I love this book.
a great cover. Again, and that's been a homage a couple of times. I love that cover.
And I said this before, and I'll say it again. This is the book that really opened up comics for me because I was only reading Superman and Batman at the time. I didn't even know I know who the Flash was. I read this book, and I saw some of the house ads for the other books like Hawkman or Green Lantern, and the other books, maybe in this book. And I'm going to try those books. So it wasn't for Barry holding his hand up and telling Joe to stop. Who knows if Joe would have even picked up anything other thing other than Batman and Superman.
Yeah,
So
right.
thanks, Barry. Thanks a lot, Barry.
No, that's a great choice. It's just funny, like we both like picked like very like I think kind of obvious for us number one if you know us at all. Um,
Yeah.
and my number one Flash comic of all time isn't a Flash comic. It is Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8.
Yep.
This is the first comic book I ever read. I saw it in the 7-Eleven with my dad. I was a little like sad. We were visiting a sick uncle in the hospital, and I saw that cover, and it just blew me away. It pulled me in. The final fate of the Flash. I didn't know who he was. I had the
Yeah.
Superpowers toy of him, but I always thought he was Flash Gordon. I thought they were the same person. I thought they just had different costumes sometimes. Um, Even thought the same thing about Jay Garrick for a minute when I first saw him. Anyway, like this just pulled me in. It opened, like you said, with you, it opened the door to me to a whole other world that I would still be reading 40 years later. It just, I had to have this comic. It just like, I knew
I get
I
it.
was addicted immediately after.
So you were about the same age I was. You were 10 years old. Yeah. I had
Yep.
to have that book. I just had to have it. Yeah. And
Yep.
that's what, that's the beauty of comic books.
It really
So
is. It opened up so many
that's our
doors.
top
You know,
10,
just
right?
George
Those are our
Perez.
top
I
10.
mean, it's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
beautiful cover. I love it. They did some facsimile editions recently, which were really nice. I picked up those just to have them because especially the foil one was really nice and like fancy. But I also bought extra copies to give out to like friends with kids and stuff like that because I'm like, I need people to like get to read that issue. It was, like I said before, part 8 of a giant event. I didn't know what was going on, but I loved it. I could still follow the story enough. It was wonderful.
Okay, so
I
we
believe
got
we
two
have
honorable mentions, right?
some honorable mentions. I'm really curious what
Okay.
your honorable mentions are, actually.
All right. Here's my first. It's another. It's a non-Flash book, but it's a Flash cover appearance. It's Green Lantern, Volume 1, Number 20. This book is in bad shape. I should have replaced this book years ago, but I probably got this book for like 50 cents in a again, at a comic book convention. But I like it because it's kind of a role reversal. It's Barry Allen charging the lantern, and
I
he's got to
love
do
that.
it before Hal fades away. Yeah, this
I
is Gil
love that.
Kane and Murphy. This is a cool cover,
Oh, it's a
right?
beautiful cover. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
God.
just love it. When
Yeah,
I
I don't
saw this
have
at the
any Silver
convention,
Age Green Lantern. That's a gorgeous cover.
and if you go back to the Silver Age and look at Flash and Green Lantern, they teamed up a lot. So there's
Yeah,
a lot of covers. There's at least 3 or 4 more in Green
yeah,
Lantern
I have the
series,
Flash
and
ones, but
probably
that's gorgeous.
isn't it beautiful
Oh,
cover?
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. I've got only a moment to charge Green Lantern's power ring and save him from fading away into nothingness. So
That's gorgeous.
that's my first honorable mention. Green Lantern number 20.
My
So
first honorable mention is the only book I have actually here with me, but I love this. This is very, very, very new. I just love this cover. It's Absolute Flash number 3, the variant cover.
ooh,
With you can see Wally running without a costume. Behind him is
mm-hmm.
his dad, the Rogues, someone who at least looks like Barry. I'm not sure about what's going on there yet. I just
Yeah.
love that cover. It's Travis Moore art. I really, really, it's like something about it. I just love it. I love the composition. I love his art. It's just a great cover.
That's number 7, right? The most recent issue.
No,
Is that
number 3.
no 3?
Number
Okay,
3.
yeah. Because I'm thinking number 7 because I read it the other day. It was fantastic. I love.
Oh, such a good book.
Okay, so it's great. It's my favorite. One of my. It's the first book I read every when I get my stack. I read Absolute Flash first.
Jeff
It's the first
Lemire,
one.
yeah, he's killing it.
And here we go. My second honorable mention. It's a Flash, Volume 1, again from the 60s, probably 1967. Flash number 172, and it's part of those weird Flash covers. And got it. I mean, you're talking about the Silver Age Flash. You got to have a Gorilla Grodd cover, right? So there we go.
Oh yeah,
I love it. What is he saying here? If you're looking for the Flash on this cover, forget it. This uniform is all that's left of him.
they had a
And they
lot of
break
those
the
like
fourth
empty
wall.
uniform Barry covers,
Yeah, they
right?
did, right? They break the fourth wall because he's talking right to the reader. See,
I
it's
love
just
that one.
crazy Silver Age stuff. Yeah.
Who
Uh,
penciled that?
oh, that's Infantino. It says right at the bottom, Infantino and Anderson.
Oh, nice,
The
nice,
guys.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh my
Flash
God,
number 172.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful, great cover. I went with more of a humorous one for my second honorable mention. I'm not sure if you've even seen this one because it's a
Oh, cool.
variant. It's a cover B, I should say, variant, whatever, from Flash Volume 4 from 2011, the New 52. The story in it is not good at all, but it is. They were doing a lot of like different theme variant covers back then. They did like Mad Magazine. They did all these other ones.
Mm.
This one was Robot Chicken one, and they did their quote unquote their Flashdance cover.
That's cool.
I love it.
I love
Took
it.
me a while to track down the copy. I had to spend kind of like $30 on it, but it's I think I get such a kick out of it. That and honestly, the Mad Magazine one is really cute too.
I
Um,
gotta look those up and see what they look like. Yeah.
they're funny. They're really funny. Like there's like I don't know. They did it like a lot. They did like Teen Titans Go ones. I also like there's I want to get at some point when I see it. I saw it on eBay like a chunk of every series one. I only have the Flash one, but for the Flash's 75th anniversary, he appeared on like I forgot like 13, 14 covers of other
Wow.
books, and he'd just be like running in the cover. It'd be like the cover of Batgirl with like the first appearance of Batgirl, like homage, but Barry's like running behind them or something. You know, just or sometimes doing something silly, like I don't know, it's like doing something funny. And on eBay, I've seen you can buy like all of them as a set. I want to get them one day because they're really funny and they're cheap. You know, they're not like.
Yeah,
You know,
they should be. Yeah, no, that's good. Those are great. Those, yeah,
I think like for the
Flash.
Green Lantern one, it's like the Hard Traveling Heroes cover homage when when Ollie's shooting the arrow at the lantern, but I think Barry runs in
Yep,
between and like stops it or something.
it's grabbing the arrow. I think I've seen that cover. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
I'm
that
like
one. Yeah.
I want to get those one day. Like it's on my list. It's not like a priority, but if I ever see them on eBay cheap, I'm snatching them up.
See, that's what Barry was doing in his spare time between issues. Because when you read Silver Age Flash, he was such a square, right? He was very conservative and very, prim and proper, wore the bow tie. But really, when we didn't see him, he was doing shit like that. He was. Because
Mhm.
he, so
Being a
yeah,
wise guy.
uh, he was being a wise guy. Yep. I guess that was Waller's influence on him. Yeah, his nephew's
Yeah,
influence,
probably.
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a lot of fun. I mean, we should try
Yeah.
to do it with other characters at some point because this is a lot of
Well,
fun.
I think I know our next one. I don't know if you'll have any covers, but again, you can find them, of course, as you did
Right,
on
right.
online. But there's a thing, about, and I can't say this on the air because it wouldn't be proper. But there are Superman covers where let's put it this way, he's being a jerk to his family, friends, and his colleagues, Justice League, and they're mostly Silver and Bronze Age, and you won't believe some of the stuff, some of the crap he does to his friends, even the dog, even Crypto. And you got to see these covers to believe it. What were they thinking? And it's like they give you this impossible cover. Why is Superman doing this to Lois Lane? He's breaking her air hose, and she's in outer space. Well, first of all,
Like,
why is Lois Lane in outer space? That's number one, in an astronaut suit. And why would Superman be doing that? And it's a Neil Adams cover too, by the way.
it's
So,
crazy.
so we can do something like that, yeah.
That'd be great.
And if
That'd be
our
great.
if our fans out there have any ideas, any suggestions for cover future cover episodes, please let us know about that.
Definitely.
So,
And
you want to wrap
thank
this
you
one up,
all.
Keith? Because it's the Flash. Go ahead.
Yeah,
You can.
thank you all for joining us in the Twin Cities of Keystone and Central to go over your
Yep.
favorite to our favorite Flash covers. Please, if you're not already following us on Facebook and Instagram, and why don't you let us know what your favorite Flash covers are? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Please.
Take
Yes.
care, everyone.